Ladies and gentlemen, are you ready for the one and only show? Live from Houston, Texas. It's the go-to girl, professional comedian, TV producer, and founder of MarriedDate.com. It's millionaire matchmaker, Amber.
Hey guys, it's your girl, matchmaker, comedian Amber Neal. Welcome into the Amber Neal Show, and I hope you guys had a great weekend. We had some really good shows this past weekend, and some really great guests as well. You can go back and check those out on the Boss Up Houston YouTube page, or you can go back to Facebook and check those out as well. Today, I got to welcome in my co-host, guys. He is former NFL PA. We're not going to hold it against him that he was with the Jets, okay? But, you know, hey, it's okay.
You can if you want to. We banged up Houston, so it don't matter.
Oh, he's already talking
Get started. Let's get started.
He is a best-selling author, Believe So You Can Achieve, and he is doing a lot of big things with his nonprofit, his foundation, the Ryan Yarbrough Foundation. For more information, y'all go to RyanYarbrough.com. But welcome in Ryan to the show.
Hey. Thank you.
Hey, Ryan, how was your weekend? Good?
Peaceful as ever.
Peaceful as ever. He's always so peaceful.
Hey.
You know, we have a very, y'all can see our set. We have a birthday screen up. Jason, you can't see it, but we have a birthday screen up for you behind us. So welcome in our very special guest today. He is the host of I'm Woke. Y'all welcome in Jason Medlock to the show.
All right,
It's the birthday.
All right, Jay.
It's your birthday.
Jay,
So how old are you?
Jay.
Are you telling your age these days?
No, we're going to do the interview. We're just going to talk about the testing.
All right, cool. Well, let's jump into that. So, you know, it's interesting. Today we're going to be talking about some techniques that you've shared with me as far as how to manifest. And you've got a lot of really exciting things coming up. I know you're working on a book. You've already filmed a whole season of your show. And you've got a lot of things in the works. So tell us a little bit about Jason Medlock and I'm Woke.
First off, thanks for having me on the show.
You're welcome.
And thank you, brother.
Hey.
But, you know, I'm Woke is a podcast that I decided to start right around, I think it was August 2021. But the reason is, you know, let's take it back. When I was 9 years old, I was wondering, you know, why the stars were in the sky. And why, you know, what was that up there? Is that a moon? Like, what is this? You know, and just the curiosity of all of that just led me on a mission. It led me on a journey just to try to figure out, you know, what was my place.
Yeah.
And so I was going to church, and I was doing a lot of different things that our parents tell us to do, you know, praying and stuff like that, which is not to discount prayer, but I still felt there was something else.
Right.
And something more. But as I continued to develop and grow, went to high school, played football, went to college, played football at Texas A&M, and I graduated from UNLV and played football in Canada, professional football, and then I got out of football and just, you know, my sister, she would help me in college to try to get me to focus on academics and focus on sports, and she gave me the affirmation of faith. And when she gave me that, it blew me away because that was my first introduction into metaphysics, you know, things that are not physical.
Right.
So I was able to use the affirmation of faith, and it was just a chant, you know, affirming my belief in my grades, affirming my belief in my athletic ability.
Wow.
And everything I was trying to affirm started to happen. And I did not know what was going on. I didn't know. And it wasn't until I got out of college, she helped me understand the law of attraction. And when I started to dive off into that, that's when I started to say, oh,
Yeah.
there's some extraordinary things that are going on out there to ordinary people.
Wow.
Yeah.
That is intense. I mean, because some people have just been learning about how to manifest. Shout out to my mentor, Barb. We worked together at Events and Adventures, you know, about 15 years ago. And she was like, man, you're a great person, but man, you could be so much better. Have you heard of The Secret? Ryan?
Which secret?
The book. Well, it's an audio. It's a book, and it's like a compilation of
yes,
authors.
Yes.
And with Ryan's book, Beliefs That You Can Achieve, this is going to be a really good show because all three of us are really living proof that you can truly manifest the life you want if you believe so you can achieve. What do you think, Ryan?
Absolutely, and positively. And one key thing that Brother Jay said was extraordinary things happening to ordinary people. And once again, that can happen to any and everybody.
Yes.
Yeah.
When it comes down to it, when we put our mind on where we're trying to go and let it happen and receive it. Put it that particular way, and receive it, because sometimes we can block our blessings.
Ooh, that part.
So when it comes down to it, you studying and taking the time to once again receive what your sister gave to you. That's what it came down to. You received it, and you seen things starting to transpire, and how your life has improved and how it has changed over the years ever since you start receiving things.
Ryan, a lot of people will say, well, I received this and this happened to me, and if you just manifest, but no one ever tells you how.
Ooh, that part.
Yes,
Yes.
sir.
And then
Yes, sir.
when they tell you how's it possible? What is allowing me to do this? And I just hope that we can get into that today.
Well, we're going to do that for sure.
Yeah, that's what I was about to say. Yeah. Because I wanted, that was going to be my next question. After she finished saying what she needs to say, is basically, do you have any tips into getting into how? Any basic tips for the average person?
Amber, you want me to go now? You want to lead me into this?
Well, we're going to come back from commercial. We're going to take a quick break from our friends of the show.
Yeah.
But when we come back, Jason is going to delve all the way in and tell us about some techniques that are amazing that you might not be familiar with. It truly will change your life. Y'all stay tuned. We'll be right back after this.
Events and Adventures knows how to make the most of being single. Get social, in person, try new things, and just have fun. Join Events and Adventures. We've been doing the single life right for over 30 years. 30 great events every month. Just visit eventsandadventures.com.
AT&T Fiber delivers a faster internet experience than cable. Ask me how to get 300 megabits per second for only $35 a month, plus taxes and fees, with no annual contract, no bundles required, and unlimited internet data included. Call Boss Up Houston Network at 832-895-5095. Again, that is Boss Up Houston Network at 832-895-5095. Limited availability may not be available in your area. Speed claims based on combined upload and download capacity of internet 300, internet 500, and internet 1000 versus Xfinity, Spectrum, and Cox 400 meg, 500 meg, 600 meg, 1 gig, and 1.2 gig cable services with uploads of 10, 20, and 35 megabits per second. Download max speed is 920 megabits per second for internet 1000. Speed vary, not guaranteed.
Hello everyone, this is Judge Mike Engelhardt. I've been one of your elected trial court judges since 2008. I'm running for the First Court of Appeals in the 2022 election. If you can hear this ad, I'm asking for your vote in the March 1st, 2022 Democratic primary. I've been named Trial Judge of the Year, and I'm a board-certified lawyer. Please vote for me, Mike Engelhardt, to send a qualified, reasonable, and fair judge to the First Court of Appeals. That's me, Judge Mike Engelhardt, for the First Court of Appeals. Please register to vote and vote for Judge Mike Engelhardt for the First Court of Appeals. Thank you.
Maridate is for committed couples that are either engaged or married and would like to keep the dating in their marriage, fight for the family, and lower the divorce rate one couple at a time. We plan 30 to 50 events a month that include workshops, seminars, webinars, experts, and events all around town. This is for couples that want to develop friendships with other like-minded couples that take their marriage and vows seriously. We will also be offering premarital help so that you will not be a statistic. Would you and your partner like to take international vacations together with other couples and at group rates? When you are home, you will learn your city as you go to each new event. Your membership includes all of our locations. We take the guesswork out of creating, having, and keeping a strong marriage. Contact us today.
Are Are you single? Maybe you're divorced or new in town. It's time to meet your match with Events and Adventures. Whether you're low-key or adventurous, come hang out with tons of like-minded people at exciting group activities. The best part? Everyone is single. From happy hours and trivia nights to outdoor adventures and weekend getaways, Events and Adventures has something for everyone. We're all here for the same reason. So come be part of a community made for singles. Your match is waiting for you to make your move. Visit eventsandadventures.com to get started. That's eventsandadventures.com.
Hey guys, it's your girl, matchmaker, comedian Amber Neal, back in the show with my co-host Ryan Yarborough. Believe so you can achieve. Best-selling author. Y'all check him out at ryanyarborough.com. How are you?
Hello, how are you?
I am good.
I'm well, that's right. RyanYarborough.com, Mr. Believe So You Can Achieve. We're in the house today. This is Monday. This is our guest, Brother Jay. Birthday. Give it up. Look,
It's your birthday.
one thing I celebrate more than any other thing else is somebody's birthday. That's the first thing I'm going to celebrate. No, that's the first thing. So once again, happy birthday, brother.
Appreciate it.
Yes.
Thank you, brother.
You look great. You look great. Oh, what is this? Would you say quantum entanglement or something? I'm like, ooh, yes. Spill the tea, guys. Jason is back. He is the host of I'm Woke. Y'all can check him out. Go to YouTube, Google, search I'm Woke with Jason Medlock, and he has a whole season. 13 episodes already done and working on the second season. So today we have brought Jason on because it's his birthday. But he's also here because we always hear about manifesting, a law of attraction, and all these things about that you hear with The Secret. But like you said, no one really tells you how to do it, how to manifest it. And the thing that I've had to learn or focus on the most in 2021 was the other part of it is learning to let go of the outcome. I'm a recovered control freak. Okay, let's put it like that. Some will argue with you and tell you I never got over it. Jason, welcome back into the show. So you came to teach us some techniques today. Tell us all about what we've got going on with some of the techniques that you've used for yourself.
Well, I've used the water alchemy technique. That's when you use water. Obviously, you may say, well, why water? Because it's been scientifically proven that water holds memory. Mm-hmm. So you can sort of project your thoughts into the water, and if you use maybe a sticky note and you write down some of the negative, low vibrating things that aren't happening for you in your life, and you write that down on a sticky piece of paper and you put it on the glass of water and you fill it up, you start to speak those things into the water. Those things that are causing you heartache, those things that are not going well for you, those things that you just can't get right and you don't know why it's happening. And then once you've gotten all that out, then you get another sticky note and you write down all the positive things. I will control, I will have success in my finances. I will find the love of my life. I will build this new home that I want. And you stick that on this, the opposite glass. And once you've gotten all these negative thoughts out, you pour it into the second glass and you speak those positive thoughts into the water. You have to understand that water holds memory. And once you do speak that into the water, then you drink it. And why do you drink it? Because water mixes with your cells, and your cells hold memory as well. So that when water and your cells come in contact, they merge. And that memory is carried over into your RNA and into your DNA. And you are, right before your eyes, you're working on changing your DNA and changing your RNA. And you can do that in 90 days, literally. That's
amazing.
That's the water technique. And then there's a technique that I use too, and it's the 3-6-9 technique. And you say it 3 times a day. You do it for 6 weeks, and you do it for 9 seconds each. And this is a great technique. It was done by Nikola Tesla. And you just kind of put 3 things that you are trying to manifest, and you write those 3 things down. And one of them could be, I will stop drinking, I will stop drinking, I will stop drinking. The next one could be, I will have financial success. You say them 3 times each, 3 times a day. 6 seconds each, 6 seconds each, and then for 9 weeks. And that's 3-6-9. But then, Amber, people will say, I had success doing this. It was, man, this worked, Jason. But really, how did it happen? Mm-hmm. And we're got to go back. We got to go backwards and talk about how did it happen. There's something that's called quantum entanglement.
Sounds sexy to me. You've heard of that, Ryan? Quantum entanglement?
Quantum entanglement. And
I like that.
first off, we have to understand that our thoughts are really real. Our thoughts are very powerful. We emit frequency from the human body. That's why when you walk in the room and you all of a sudden you may say, she giving me a bad vibe, I don't like her.
Right.
Well, it's the frequency, it's the energy, the inertia fields that are surrounding our bodies, and we can match frequencies, and we can tell that when we're not compatible with a certain person.
Wow.
But we send these light waves from our minds. We think, and when we send these thoughts out, they're light, and they move at light speed, and they go into the universe, and they mix with the quantum field that's in the universe. And again, quantum entanglement, you have atoms, you have protons. What scientists have found that if we shot an atom or a proton clear across the universe, okay, and one of the protons or atoms is right here in the laboratory. Whatever we do to this proton in the laboratory, the same thing happens to the one that's clear across another side of the universe.
That's amazing.
Well, what does that mean? That means that they are like particles. They're the same. So that when we interact with the quantum field, we are interacting really with ourselves. So when you do send a thought into the universe, into this network that God has created, then this thought is processed, and then it comes right back to you. That's how you're able to pull things your way using quantum entanglement to succeed at the law of attraction.
Wow.
So there obviously we can get much deeper, but that's a scientific explanation behind that. But imagine being able to wield some of the things that you want in life if you properly know how to ask for it and have these things come back to you. Now, what do you have to do? Your body has to be prepared for that.
Right.
You have to have a clear heart. You have to be vibrating at a high level. Well, Jason, how do you do that? Well, you have to eat high vibrating foods. You have to eat fruit is a very, very high vibrating food. Broccoli is a superfood. Any green foods that you can absorb and not eat meat, because meat carries cells, just like we have cells in our body. In our body,
I'm struggling
our
with that part.
cells.
Yeah.
Talk to him.
Talk to him. Yeah.
So we have memory in our cells, so
Yes.
that when the cows are slaughtered and the pigs are slaughtered, that meat with those cells inside of that meat has memory. And then when you eat that, you're carrying the trauma of that animal.
That's right.
Within you. So and we wonder why we are killing people out here on the streets, and we are, robbing, and we're not doing right with each other because we have all these memories of trauma and ill will. But the first thing you do, you need to clear your vessel. You need to try to eat high vibrating foods, because the higher you vibrate, the more success you'll have using the law of attraction. And you can't, or manifesting, so you can't just I'm going to start manifesting today, but I'm still drinking alcohol.
Right.
Alcohol is a low vibrating substance.
Poison.
It brings your
Depressant.
vibration down. It's a depressant. Now, I'm not saying you got to stop drinking. What I'm saying is, if you want to seriously try to manifest, then you must bring your body to balance. You must bring your body and clear your vessel so that you can have a shot at using this technique.
Well, I have a really hard question, because me, myself, and I, if it's green, unless it's money, I'm just never been into like vegetables and like eating healthy. I grew up, horribly. We grew up, everything's fried and just bad for you. But how would you suggest? And we love meat. I mean, my grandpa's a farmer, okay, but like, how do you? That kind of falls in line with manifesting. How do you take somebody who's a horrible eater, because it sounds like that's like one of the first steps you have to take.
Well, there's the how-to is then you have to understand that you have to just do it. First off, nothing happens in life without belief.
Yeah.
And you have to build a strong belief system in order to move off into metaphysical things like this. People read a book and I read the law, I watched this movie, but there are things behind the scenes that have to happen. So the belief system that you are able to do these things is the first thing. But the second thing is meat carries epigenetic transfer.
Wow.
If we don't understand that meat has trauma, then if you move that into your body, how can you have a clear vessel? How can you use the quantum entanglement field to bring this thought that you're sending out in the universe right back to you? So those are the steps to doing it. Now, someone may have success while eating, all kind of. I'm not saying that's the only way.
Right. No,
but I'm just going off of research.
it's something I want to do though, but I
Yeah.
just don't know how to start because it's like,
Yeah.
Yeah. And once again, Jay, to kind of answer her question that she was asking you is, once again, you have to want to.
Sure.
You have to want to make change.
Yes.
In order for you to be able to change.
Yes.
Right?
Correct.
And that goes for each and every one of us, regardless, meat, whatever, whatever it may be. That's why I was kind of talking about the receiving at first. You have to want, and then you have to be able to receive it. Because you could have blocked, once again, what your sister was trying to tell you.
Right.
Trying to bring to whatever.
Right.
But you can still be 50 years old and still learn some things. I learned that from my grandmother. That's why we still living, because we
Yes,
still
sir.
have lessons to learn.
Yes, sir. What I found that when people, want to know different ways of doing this and different ways of doing that, they're not ready. Because even when you're trying to learn how to meditate, even when you're trying to learn how, let's say, to channel, that means when you're trying to mentally connect with spiritual beings.
Yes.
You're trying to learn how to remote view. That means, sitting right here at the table, but fixating on a target that may be 4,000 miles away and being able to describe it.
wow, that's amazing.
None of these extraordinary gifts that ordinary people can happen unless you have some sort of center about yourself. You have to have a level of calmness within your mind. You have to have a level of control over things that are vices.
Yes.
Meaning Dr. Pepper.
Dr. Pepper. I knew he was gonna. I was like, I shouldn't even brought this on the set. 'Cause Jason's gonna clown me.
No.
I'm just
Meaning
playing. It's true though. It is my vice. It is.
Meaning meat that has been traumatized. Can you do fish? Absolutely. You can do some fish here and there. All I'm trying to say is that when we put things in our body, we have to know that our body is a biological wonder.
Right. That's right.
And our cells have memory. Our heart. Did you know we had a mind in our heart as well? We had a brain. We have a heart, brain, and we have a brain at the top. But when you can get those working in cohesiveness, then you're dangerous.
You were telling me before about crystals in your brain. Do you want to elaborate on
Yes.
that a little bit?
Okay.
He's got so much information. I don't know if we know one show, but
What a quantum field is energy, it's thought, it's frequency. But then when the radios we used to have in our cars, how do you tune a radio? What's
I'm not
inside
that
of a radio?
old. I don't remember that.
What's inside of a radio is a crystal. Crystals hold frequency. But why do we have millions of crystals in our brain? I'm talking about
That's so
microscopic crystals. This is all science, people.
Yeah.
This is not
Yeah,
something
he
that
ain't
I'm
just
making up.
making this up.
Right.
So we have millions of crystals in our brain. But yet and still, my mom came to me last night and spoke to me. Or I know I heard somebody speak at my auntie's funeral. Or when I was sleeping and I had this dream, I could have sworn it was somebody there.
Yeah.
Because crystals they hold frequency. So that if a car radio is being tuned in by harnessing the power of a crystal, then that means that we can communicate with each other because we have crystals in our brain, and we can our brain, that frequency has been held there.
No doubt.
That's how people are able to connect with some God spoke or channeling, or even the law of attraction, using that principle, trying to bring things back to you. You're resonating with a certain level of frequency. Dimensional, moving between dimensions.
Yeah.
We're in the third dimension. It's dense.
Yeah.
It's thick. The third dimension is physical. fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh, eighth dimension is non-physical, non-material, they like to call it. But how do you go there?
Right.
Moving frequencies. You ever seen the light spectrum?
Yes, sir.
We're in the middle. There's like a little line in the light spectrum. Then you have it goes this way and that way. And it's all these different lines giving you ultraviolet, violet, X-ray. You know, just all these different. We don't even see in one spectrum.
Yeah.
But the dimensions are just like a slither of hair. They're sitting on top of each other. But you tune in. And how do you do that? Through meditation. Through being able to control your mind, through discipline.
That's the word.
Yeah.
Discipline was the word that I saw in Forbes when they interviewed like 100 millionaire billionaires, and that was literally the one word that every single interview had in it was discipline.
Yeah.
I thought that was so amazing. You know, one thing that really drew me to your show, Jason, was when I watched one of the first shows you were talking. I don't know if it was actually the first show, but it was the first one I saw. And you were talking about how do you do this, because you were talking about astral projecting.
Yes.
And I was like,
yes.
he has astral projected. And
Brian, you want to hear this, Brian? Go ahead,
you want to hear this? This is mind blowing. Okay, so I'm sitting here and I'm already like, because when you hear that, you're like, what is astral projecting? How is he able to do it? And I'm not. And I'm like, okay, so what happened? But what really drew me in to watch more was what you were saying before about how does this really start? And it is having a pure heart.
Yes.
And setting the intention.
It's about intention, and you said that's the key word. Your intentions are your thought. And whatever you think you can do, set your intentions and clearly do it. But I didn't want to cut you off.
No,
You're right. But astral projecting. What is astral projection? Astral projection can happen in a few different ways. You can move your energy body. There's a energy body within your body that can separate from the body and move into the spiritual realm or move into the different dimensions. And then you can project your conscience. You can move your conscience to different places as well. But I was it was about a year and a half ago. And I think I told you this story offline when we were preparing for the show.
Yeah.
And I was trying to reach the Akashic records. And the Akashic records are your vibratory history of all the past lives you've lived, and the history of the universe and the history of the earth. And it's like a library that's in a different dimension. It's called the Akashic Records. And if you Google that, you'll find it everywhere. You'll be like, man, this dude ain't crazy. It's everywhere. But I was trying to go to the Akashic Records, but I had practiced the astral projection. I had practiced it for weeks. The first thing I had to do was get my meditation and get my mind to be very, very calm. And you have to be asleep, but then you have to be awake. And you have to be right there in that rim, area of the brain. Right there where you're not asleep, you're not awake, but you're in the middle. I mean, you get there by practicing meditation. So I'm there. I'm in my bed. I'm just kind of laying there. I'm just working on this gift. And before I know it, I doze off. But I'm still aware. And all of a sudden, anybody who's had this experience, my toes started to vibrate like a lawnmower, like somebody was starting a lawnmower. Like, and I was like, in my mind, okay, it's about to happen. Then my left side started to vibrate. But I had set my intentions before I even started on what I wanted to do. And before I know it, my entire body was vibrating like a lawnmower. Now, there are different techniques. You can mentally sit up and move out of the body. You can mentally, it's a roll technique. You roll to the left, you roll to the right. Okay? So I rolled to the right and popped out of my body. And the only thing I heard was, because when you're out of the body, your vision is 300,000 times better. Wow. And your hearing is 350,000 times better. So I heard shh, you could hear the air.
Oh my God.
Yeah, it was an amazing feeling. Yeah. So I found myself in the corner of my room on the wall looking down at the bed. And I was laying there in the bed.
Did you feel scared at all, or do you feel
I wasn't scared because I knew what I was doing.
What you were doing, yeah.
And never, ever, ever try to practice leaving your body if you're not vibrating at a high level, meaning that if you're mad at your cousin or you just had an argument with your wife and I'm going to go in here in the room, I'm just going to try this. She don't want me doing this, but I'm going to try it. Don't leave your body when you're not resonating light in your heart and love in your heart, because if you do, then immediately dark energy could surround you and give you a real good scare.
Somewhere else. Yeah.
Give you a good scare. Now, no one can jump in your body if you're out of your body. Your body's only for you. It's only for that particular soul. Mm-hmm. But so I was out of the body, and I went to my door in my bedroom, and I walked through the door, floated through the door.
Right.
And the way you know you've had an out-of-body experience is that you have to observe. Hopefully someone knows you're doing it, or you can get some good answers from someone who maybe not know you're doing it, but they can tell you what they were doing so that you can validate that you are out of the body. So I went into my boys' bedroom and I watched them. I saw my son. He was laying at the opposite end of the bed on his iPad. And I went into the other bedroom and I saw my son. He was on his iPhone with the cover pulled over his head. Same story. Mm-hmm. And I went back into the room, and as soon as I got close to my body, boom, I woke up. And I was like, oh, whoa. I immediately, Dr. Bob Monroe, Journeys Out of the Body, I read that book, and I read 4 Journeys by Dr. Bob Monroe and the Astral Projection Guidebook by Aaron Pavlin. Took my notes on what I saw and what happened, and I did not bother my boys that night. But the next day, separately, I asked I was like, hey, what were you doing? He's like, nothing. I said, about 2:30 in the morning, what were you doing? He didn't want to tell me. I'm like, no, you're not in trouble. I just want to know what were you doing. Yeah. He was like, I was watching TV. I said, well, which direction were you on your bed? Were you on your iPad? He's like, yeah, I was on my iPad. I don't know which direction. I was on my iPad, though. I was like, check. Because I saw him. Mm-hmm. And then I went to the other room and I asked my son, hey, what were you doing at 2:30 in the morning? He's like, I don't know, about 2 o'clock I got up to use the bathroom. I said, well, then after that, what did you do? I got on my cell phone to check my messages. And I said, well, were you under the cover? Were you on top of the cover? He was like, I was under the cover.
Wow.
I saw them.
Wow.
I knew then, that's how you verify that it wasn't a dream,
right,
and that you left your body.
Wow.
So that's astral projection. And obviously there are many more steps, but that's it in a nutshell.
I remember you telling me when it happened, you wrote it down.
Yeah.
Because,
yeah.
I mean, you think that's important to write it down so you remember it exactly?
Yes.
The details,
yes,
especially when you're trying to validate.
Yes. And you can't tell whoever, what you're, trying to do. You just need to validate what you saw.
What you saw.
Yourself.
You know what I mean? Right?
Ooh, guys.
Yeah.
Well, we got to take a quick break, but when we come back, we're going to finish talking to Jason about, look, I'm telling you, he has so much knowledge. We cannot get to this in one show. I'm super proud of Jason. He is quickly emerging as an expert in his field of spirituality, and y'all are going to see some really big things coming out from him too. And when we come back, we want to talk to Ryan about his book, Believe So You Can Achieve. Y'all stay tuned. We'll be right back after this.
Are you single? Maybe you're divorced or new in town. It's time to meet your match with Events and Adventures. Whether you're low-key or adventurous, come hang out with tons of like-minded people at exciting group activities. The best part? Everyone is single. From happy hours and trivia nights to outdoor adventures and weekend getaways, Events and Adventures has something for everyone. We're all here for the same reason. So come be part of a community made for singles. Your match is waiting for you to make your move. Visit eventsandadventures.com to get started. That's eventsandadventures.com.
AT&T Fiber delivers a faster internet experience than cable. Ask me how to get 300 megabits per second for only $35 a month, plus taxes and fees, with no annual contract, no bundles required, and unlimited internet data included. Call Boss Up Houston Network at 832-895-5095. Again, that is Boss Up Houston Network at 832-895-5095. Limited availability may not be available in your area. Speed claims based on combined upload and download capacity of internet 300, internet 500, and internet 1000 versus Xfinity, Spectrum, and Cox 400 meg, 500 meg, 600 meg, 1 gig, and 1.2 gig cable services with uploads of 10, 20, and 35 megabits per second. Download max speed is 920 megabits per second for internet 1000. Speed vary, not guaranteed.
Married is for committed couples that are either engaged or married and would like to keep the dating in their marriage, fight for the family, and lower the divorce rate one couple at a time. We plan 30 to 50 events a month that include workshops, seminars, webinars, experts, and events all around town. This is for couples that want to develop friendships with other like-minded couples that take their marriage and vows seriously. We will also be offering premarital help so that you will not be a statistic. Would you and your partner like to take international vacations together with other couples and at group rates? When you are home, you will learn your city as you go to each new event. Your membership includes all of our locations. We take the guesswork out of creating, having, and keeping a strong marriage. Contact us today.
Hey singles, do you feel it? The feeling like it's time to start having fun again? If you do, then you're ready to celebrate with Events and Adventures. There's never been a better time to join than right now. Meet new people with a packed calendar of fun events, exciting adventures, and future memories. It's time to live life to the fullest, to high five, skydive, and feel alive again. That feeling is here at Events and Adventures. If you're single and ready to celebrate, visit eventsandadventures.com to get started. That's eventsandadventures.com.
Welcome back into the Amber Neal Show. I am your girl, matchmaker Amber Neal. And welcome back in my co-host, Ryan Yarbrough. Guys, today we are in studio with Jason Medlock. He's the host of I'm Woke, and my mind is just this. You know how there's some people that you just are fascinated when you talk to them? Jason is that guy for me. And happy birthday. As y'all can see, it is his birthday.
Yeah, once again.
It's Aquarius season. We're in the age of Aquarius, too. So, like, this is your year, right?
It is, yeah.
It is time. And, guys, during the break, what you guys missed, y'all know I'm an empath matchmaker. I've never had a divorced client 17 years. That empath, and as Jason can tell you from being around me, it can be a little frustrating hanging out with empaths because we overthink everything. We see so many potentials. And, you know, one of the things we were talking about, Jason was sharing with us how he has astro projected and been able to leave his body and go float into his kids' room and see what they were doing and validate it. Wow. And it reminds me, you know, but that's what we're talking about during the break too, Ryan. You said it really is about, you have to be ready to start it and receive it, because I grew up in religion for so long, and anything that was not, and like you said, the way you said it, that spirituality teaches us how to live from the Bible. It's not a and or take away from the Bible. It's just we have all these gifts, but they don't want us to know, because then we actually will really manifest our way completely out of fear.
Well, I mean, I don't think that a lot of people know that the frequency that they emit from the radio stations and on television are low bandwidth frequencies.
And music.
You know, the music is low bandwidth music. I mean, if you go on YouTube, and you'll see the 432 megahertz meditation. That's the resonant sound that the earth makes. You know, so there are a lot of different frequencies that are very, very high vibratory. As a matter of fact, vibroacoustic therapy. I went to a mind and body and soul session last week, and it's called vibroacoustic therapy. And the bed is total sound.
Wow.
And she said it on a different megahertz, and she played some music, and the entire bed was vibrating through my body, which we're made of light and sound. Anyway, we're spirits. We're inhabiting avatars.
Right.
And but our minds are white when we incarnate here on Earth, and Earth is a training ground.
Right.
We're in a physical reality, in a physical body. But we're not physical. We're material beings. We're energy.
Yeah.
But you know that bed, you know, is supposed to, with the sound coming through your body, rejuvenate your cells and, you know, helps cleanse a lot of, you know, negativity, or helps heal in some cases. So that was very, very fascinating. But we were talking about. I know I got totally off the
Birthday, champ. It's all right. It's your birthday.
Hey. that we were just talking about how when you've really embraced your gifts of the Spirit, and this is not your whole career up until this point has been something totally different, like most of us.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden, Ryan's in the NFL. Then all of a sudden, now he's a best-selling author, and it's amazing how you keep wanting everybody. If you're growing, you're manifesting, you're growing. You're never gonna know it all. It's fascinating to me, but I was like you. I was always, when I was young, I'm like, ooh, look at the sky, look at the universe, and that's how I really proved my belief system, even spiritually, was getting into science.
Yes.
People might be shocked to see that. But it can be, I remember when I had my first premonition when I was 18, then I had another one, and I started having dreams about people, and I started knowing things I didn't know. But being raised in the church, I rebuked it. I'm like, I don't know what this is. I don't know who that's talking to me, but y'all ain't putting me in a nutty house. Like, this ain't going to happen. But you always sound crazy until it's proven.
Well, religion, a lot of religion, I don't want to say religion, because a lot of people be like, oh, he doesn't know what he's talking about. But religion, some religions control. You have to stand up in church. You have to sit down in church.
Oh,
then
no,
you
I
stand up
tried
and
that.
sing. Then you sit down and sing. And you can't wear a short skirt. You can't wear jeans or something. There's a lot of rules in
Rituals.
religion. Rituals. Spirituality is just tapping into your God-given gifts. There are no rules.
Right.
You don't have to go and pray for forgiveness. You just have to figure out a way to vibrate at a high level and start to experiment with these different gifts that we have, and get to know oneness, get to know God, but a different type of way.
Right.
Connect with Him through frequencies and through vibration.
Within.
It's everything happens from within. Anything that you ever wanted in your life, start from within. And when you open your eyes every day, you see the world. You see the reality that you're in. But the real world is in the back of your head.
Yeah.
It's when your eyes close, that's when the fun happens. That's when the real world, that's where you're from.
And what were you saying about your third eye? You can always tell if somebody's third eye is open, and how that's so pivotal to everything really working for you.
Well, our third eye chakra, typically, if it's open, then you're able to manifest just about anything you want, which means that your clairvoyancy is at a high level. And when you're clairvoyant, you're spiritually tuned in. You have a level of psychic ability or a level of awareness around you. Like, for instance, I was at my home last weekend. A friend of mine came over that was bringing her daughter in from Prairie View. And she asked, hey, I'm going to go in the bathroom. I'm like, sure, go in there. I was in my living room area with my back turned, and I turned around really quick, and she was right there. But how did I know that? And people, this happens to you too. You could be somewhere in the house or at the store, and you turn around because you feel somebody. It's clairvoyancy. That's the ability to sense. And that's the same thing as remote viewing. The ability to sense targets that may be 50 miles away, maybe 20 miles away, but it's a awareness that we have that's built in. But we've been taught all our lives not to feel. We've been taught all our lives, boy, shut up. Boy, you better stop crying. You better. Me as a young boy, I've been taught not to feel. But empathic abilities, clairvoyancy, clairsentient, clairaudient. Clairsentient means you have the ability to see. Well, then you can see between dimensions. That's how you can see your auntie in the room and you didn't know. That I saw her. I know I saw her. Clairsentient. Clairaudient is when you're able to hear. So we have these abilities, but our society suppresses our abilities based on how we live every day. And that's not the focus in the West. Developing your spiritual gifts, that's not the focus with the Western culture. But in the Eastern culture, it is. And we can talk about psychedelics. I've tried those as well. I've had many trips interdimensionally using psychedelics. And those are mushrooms, for those who don't know.
That's phenomenal. That I mean, Ryan, I know when you sat down because you had to pull that from within as well when you wrote your book as well, Believe So You Can Achieve. And, for anybody to make it into the 1% of their profession is amazing. That you can't,
A lot of belief.
You can't deny that.
Yes.
People think it's just the physical thing, but it's so much, when you guys say it's more mental.
No, it's always mental, as Jay was saying. The mental brings out the physical, and especially, I mean, talking about my book, but especially when I was playing ball, I used to always sit back, sleep, dream certain things on the field, and that's what used to transpire. But main thing that I always understood ever since I was a small child was that I had to think a certain way in order for me to go where I was trying to go and get where I was trying to get. And that's why you say when you talk to me, peaceful, not always peaceful, you know that.
Yeah.
Okay. But one thing that I know throughout life is, as Jason was saying too, you have to be able to calm your nerves, calm down in certain areas in order for what you really want to come in. Because if you're tense and you're fighting and you're always being combative or rebellious in certain areas, it's like you're not gonna get what you truly need or truly asking for, put it that particular way. So you gotta calm. When you hurt your finger, you hurt your leg or something, first thing, the adrenaline, you're gonna be hyped up now, but as soon as that happens, you gotta calm yourself down, because as soon as you calm yourself down, the sooner you'll be able to heal yourself.
But Ryan's being modest.
I know, he
Ryan
always
Yarbrough,
is. He
University of
is.
Wyoming, All-American,
Right.
one of the best players in the nation.
Yeah.
But what he said
Yeah.
was, I would dream,
Yeah.
and I would, he would think.
Yeah.
He was manifesting.
Yes, sir.
Probably didn't know it,
Yes,
Yes.
sir.
but his thoughts are light energy. So he thought it, and then he did it. So people have to understand, anything you think or anything you speak is a vibratory message to the universe, and it will resonate with something, whether it's good or bad.
And I try to tell people that all the time, Jay. It's like you just don't blab out something.
You can.
Okay, it was a thought first. All right, so you can choose to say what you're thinking, and you can choose not to say what you were thinking. All right, so when it comes to everything, I'm glad you came in, not just because it's your birthday, but to bring that calm and bring a calm and spirit, because as you said, energy feels energy. All right, and certain energies you don't try to match. Okay, all right, they're acting a nut. Let them act a nut over there. I'm gonna go over here, and stay where I need to be. Because once again, you can jump right into the fire if you're not careful.
Let me give you a little more science.
Talk.
An ideogram. You guys know what an ideogram is. An ideogram is like a squiggly line, or it's just something that you write that just comes from your brain. Well, if I wrote 1, 2, 3, 4 letter numbers at the top of the line, I wrote 1, 2, 3, 4 numbers at the bottom of the line, and I put my hand right here, and I did the first thing that came to me. I sent a set of equations into the universe, and it immediately responded right back to me in my hand. And whatever you wrote is an ideogram. And that line represents something. You don't know what it is yet because you have to do a number of ideograms to figure out. And first off, you got to start off with that. What is this? What is this? What is this? And say, this is a person. This is an object. This is a structure. And this is that's water. So that when you remote view, you are given coordinates. And when you get the coordinates, whatever happens, each time you do an ideogram, you put them all together and you start to draw your target. Yeah. That's how you can draw what through what you're getting back from this quantum entanglement. That's the premise of the law of attraction. Whatever you think, whatever you put out there, it comes right back to you.
Yeah.
Now, Amber, you've told me offline that you've had some recent successes, but are you attributing it to the manifestation program you're on?
Oh, definitely.
Because you're putting things out there.
Yeah.
You're in the mirror every day, 3 times a day. And then sometimes we think it's us. We think we're the smartest thing.
Ain't it funny though?
We do though.
We really do.
We think
it's
that
us.
because I'm a producer, and because it is. Because you know who we are? And you know what I'm about to say, huh? We're nobody.
Yeah. I'm practicing being nobody. I really am. And people are like, what?
Yeah, we're really nobody.
I'm trying to stay neutral. Like I'm learning as an empath, especially thanks to Jason's help. I'm learning to observe it and not so much absorb it, because
Yes.
as an empath,
Yes.
it can make me crazy. Because I can just go into it or think it, and like it's a blessing and a curse. But I'm finally embracing. I used to say, it's just a knowing, and I would always say, I'm not saying I'm psychic,
Right.
but I'm not saying I'm not.
Right.
And meeting you has been amazing in education field, because it's explained. I knew, like I told you when I met you, I knew I was an empath, but somebody had to tell me that word.
But I told you I was a what? A connector
Yes, you are.
of information.
You are.
And what we mean by practicing being nobody, it doesn't mean that she doesn't recognize that she's a comedian, she's a matchmaker, she's a PR person, she's a
mom.
a mom. No, it doesn't mean that she's not aware of that, but internally, she doesn't need to be aware of that. She just needs to be no one.
They need to be.
There's a book by Ram Dass, and it's called Here Now. And that book talks about the principle of practicing to be nobody within. And once you can know that, no, I'm none of the above, but still operate in this matrix, in this reality that we live in, then you'll begin to see, your abilities increase, because we have to let go of what a minute ago, attachments.
Yeah.
That part.
And that's how we grow spiritually. That's
And
how
it actually gets
that's how-
easier over
It
time.
gets easier.
It really does.
And that's how we are able to bask in our spiritual awakening.
And the last thing we want to jump into, because I know we're running out of time, but one of the things you taught me with the 777 technique, it's all about commanding it. It is, I love that word. It's commanding it. So why is it important that we command it? Because one of the things you told me, you said, don't manifest money.
Don't.
You got to manifest the desire. Like, I want to be the best matchmaker in the world. I want to be the best TV producer in the world, whatever. So how does that work, Jason?
Well, when I say commanded,
Yeah.
I mean, Westerners, we pray from a position of weakness.
Yeah, fear.
Easterners, they pray from a position of power. You are energy. You are infinite. You will never die. It is done. I command it. It is my right.
That's right.
It is my God-given right. So that when you're manifesting, you manifest through strength. You manifest through your God-given power. It's not like I better have this car by next week. No.
Right.
It is my right as a God-given child to provide transportation for my kids. It is my right to provide food for my kids. It is my ability to provide shelter for thousands with a new project I'm working on. Well, how are you going to provide shelter for thousands with this new project with thin air?
Right.
You're actually manifesting finances within that statement. So when you do try to set up your manifestation techniques, and you're doing the 777 or the 333 or the 555 technique, and all those techniques are different, but they're the same. You have to manifest from a position of power, from a position of strength. Every prayer that you say, it is done. Amen. Thank you, God. Oh, God, if you could please this time, God. The universe is energy. God doesn't recognize weakness. It's strength.
Right.
Everything is, what you put in is what you get out.
And you can even take that scripture, God meets your level of expectation.
Absolutely, absolutely. So, you have to command it. You have to be very, very in tune when you're manifesting. Like, for instance, I have a manifesting club that starts actually tomorrow. It's going to go on all year. We're going to do manifestation technique every quarter. We'll be talking about it on I'm Woke. And the first quarter, it'll be the 369 project. The second quarter, it'll be the alchemy technique with the water I talked to you guys about.
I love that one.
The third quarter, it'll be the Tesla 369 technique. And then the fourth quarter, it'll be the 555, the 333, and the 777 technique. And I'm going to take a group of people, and we're going to do each one of these techniques the entire year. But what's special about this is that 10 minutes before we start, we're going to do something called collective thought. And Ryan, collective thought is you, myself, Amber, and Xavier. We're in here meditating. And it's Ryan's turn this week to say, look, I'm really trying to make about $100,000 in the next 6 months so that I can start this nonprofit. So that collectively, we will meditate for 10 minutes on helping Ryan start the nonprofit.
Ooh, that's powerful.
Collective thought.
Right.
I got this concept from a book called Forbidden Knowledge by Jason Quitt. And in that book, they were talking about, well, how did the pyramids get built? Well, even in Dolores Cannon's book, The Convoluted Universe, they talk about these high priests that would meditate to move the brick, levitate.
Yeah, because
Collectively,
they don't have the tools to do
scientists,
it.
they knew how to do it.
And because they're showing they don't even have the tools today to do that. So it had to be something like that.
But you got to hear me. Collectively, they levitated because they all had a center, a point on what they were trying to work on.
That's amazing.
I'm just telling you. So collective thought came from that, and Jason Quitt wrote about that in Forbidden Knowledge.
Forbidden knowledge.
Yeah.
Ooh, I know we're about out of time, but man, we could talk to you all day, Jason. And happy birthday, by the way, too. Tell us. I know you've got that. You got your new club that you're going to be doing that. You're definitely working on season 2 of your show. You're working on a book. We're not going to tell you too much about that. That's going to be a mystery for now. But how do people get in touch with you, contact you, and then when we're going to come back from commercial, we're going to hear our afterthoughts.
Well, you can always look at my website, www.jasonmedlock.com. We're on Twitter. I'm Woke, the podcast. We're on YouTube. I'm Woke, the podcast. And we're on Instagram. I'm Woke, the podcast. And, we got a lot of new content coming out for 2022. Our show is about to start up here at some point in February. So we're excited about that. And we got a book coming out. And the book is really, I won't tell you the name of it right now, but the book is focusing on how everyday people are doing extraordinary things.
I love it.
That's the whole theme of it. And I'm not just writing about it as an academician. I'm going through each one of these spiritual modalities, and I'm experiencing them myself.
Wow.
Right now I'm in a remote viewing course.
Wow.
And I'm experiencing how to do this. I've already taken a channeling course. I know how to channel. I've already been certified as a galactic energy healer, so I know how to use galactic healing energy from channeling beings to get healing patterns to heal people. Something similar to Reiki. I know you guys out there know about Reiki healing, but I'm already set up to do a regression therapy session.
Wow.
So that I can figure out how many past lives have I lived, and let's just talk about some of them.
That's fascinating.
So all these things will be in the book. In most cases, I will be under hypnosis with a tape recorder and a video camera on me and transcribing the experience on what I was told by the spiritual beings. And it'll be a Q&A in the book about, it'll say subject, and then it'll say the collective, and then Jason, and then the collective, speaking back to me as the regression therapist is talking. And then my Akashic records will be read too. And once I get that experience and I'll get all of it transcribed, that'll be shared.
Wow, I can't wait, guys. This is going to be phenomenal. Thank you so much for coming on the show today. And when we come back, we're going to get your afterthoughts. Ryan, did you have any final thoughts?
My final thoughts were, I always have thoughts. I just don't bring them out. But once again, as far as Jay coming in today, at this particular point in time, once again, is the universe putting everybody together.
Yes.
At this particular
Everything is
point
for a
in time.
purpose.
Yeah,
Yes.
absolutely.
And scripted.
Positive. Yeah, no doubt about that. But I just want to, more so than wish him another happy birthday, want to tell him thank you for bringing the knowledge here, because once again, as we were speaking off camera, it's for people that want to receive it.
Yes.
All right.
I told you that too, Amber.
So,
and I know that, like I said at the beginning of the show, it's for the people that want to receive it. So I'm in acceptance and receiving mode, and I appreciate you for bringing your knowledge.
Let me give you one word to use. Those who will hear, will hear. Those who will see, will see.
Enough said.
Man, we got to bring Jason back because there's just not enough time because I have so many questions and this is so exciting. And that's what I told Jason. That is the most exciting thing when I pick friends. Can I learn from you? That's it. I think people that come in with you meet people that know it all. It's like I run away from those people, like because I don't know nothing, and I am nothing. So it's like it just you're on a different vibration. And once you do get to that level, you recognize it very quickly when you're dealing with a low vibration. So, guys, attitude of gratitude. That's the secret for me. Manifesting. You cannot manifest if you are not in the right energy. And so we're going to come back with our afterthoughts and give you our final thoughts and our final messages right after these breaks. And for more information, y'all go to amberneal.com if you want to get involved in the show. And we'll see you next time right here. And y'all stay tuned.
Events and Adventures knows how to make the most of being single. Get social, in person, try new things, and just have fun. Join Events and Adventures. We've been doing the single life right for over 30 years. 30 great events every month. Just visit eventsandadventures.com.
AT&T Fiber delivers a faster internet experience than cable. Ask me how to get 300 megabits per second for only $35 a month, plus taxes and fees, with no annual contract, no bundles required, and unlimited internet data included. Call Boss Up Houston Network at 832-895-5095. Again, that is Boss Up Houston Network at 832-895-5095. Limited availability may not be available in your area. Speed claims based on combined upload and download capacity of internet 300, internet 500, and internet 1000 versus Xfinity, Spectrum, and Cox 400 meg, 500 meg, 600 meg, 1 gig, and 1.2 gig cable services with uploads of 10, 20, and 35 megabits per second. Download max speed is 920 megabits per second for internet 1000. Speed vary, not guaranteed.
Hello, everyone. This is Judge Mike Engelhardt. I've been one of your elected trial court judges since 2008. I'm running for the First Court of Appeals in the 2022 election. If you can hear this ad, I'm asking for your vote in the March 1st, 2022 Democratic primary. I've been named Trial Judge of the Year, and I'm a board-certified lawyer. Please vote for me, Mike Engelhardt, to send a qualified, reasonable, and fair judge to the First Court of Appeals. That's me, Judge Mike Engelhardt, for the First Court of Appeals. Please register to vote and vote for Judge Mike Engelhardt for the First Court of Appeals. Thank you.
Maridate is for committed couples that are either engaged or married and would like to keep the dating in their marriage, fight for the family, and lower the divorce rate one couple at a time. We plan 30 to 50 events a month that include workshops, seminars, webinars, experts, and events all around town. This is for couples that want to develop friendships with other like-minded couples that take their marriage and vows seriously. We will also be offering premarital help so that you will not be a statistic. Would you and your partner like to take international vacations together with other couples and at group rates? When you are home, you will learn your city as you go to each new event. Your membership includes all of our locations. We take the guesswork out of creating, having, and keeping a strong marriage. Contact us today.
Peace and blessings, everyone. This is Ryan Yarbrough, Mr. Believe So You Can Achieve. On today's show, we had a wonderful, wonderful guest today. Not only did he bring plenty of knowledge, it was his birthday, so he blessed us with his presence as well. So I want to thank Brother Jay for that. But a couple of things that I found out today and that reiterated, that Jason said to me, that reiterated and set in stone in me is that you have to remain calm in order to attract the things into your world. In order to manifest, you have to have a clear vision and clear intentions. But once again, you have to be able to clear your mind in order to allow things to come in, and that's called the receptive mode as well, right there. But nevertheless, I'm so grateful that Brother Jay came through and dropped this knowledge on us. And in the meantime, you can catch me in anything that I have going, such as the book, appearances, and my sports show that's coming up at Ryan RyanYarborough.com. Once again, that's RyanYarborough.com, the owner and president of Ryan Yarborough Foundation. So in the mean and in between time, stay peaceful, and I will see you sooner than later. Blessings.
Well, it was a pleasure being here today on the Amber Neal Show. Had a fantastic time. To my right was Amber Neal. You know, you can say what you want, but one of the best, one of the top producers, comedians, matchmakers in the industry, and my guy Ryan Yarbrough, All-American, University of Wyoming, and one of the best receivers to ever do it in college football. These two were outstanding today. But what I took away from it was, Amber's unique empathic ability, and it continues to shine for her. She's very successful, but Amber's able to use these empathic abilities to feel her way through problems, to understand how to discern between the people that she matches up, just by using the feeling, just by using her instincts, and that's what makes her the best. And I learned that Ryan was dreaming, and imagine that. He was dreaming and he was thinking that he was going to be the best, but in actuality, he was manifesting at a young age in college. And we were talking about manifesting. We were talking about how do we actually use that gift. You have to start off. The first thing, you have to have a clear vessel. You have to eat well. You have to eat well. Eat high vibratory foods. Eat fruit. Eat vegetables. And try to cut meat out of your diet. But number two, your belief system has to be such that you really, really, really believe. You really, really believe, you resonate this radiant light from your body. And you know that whatever you want, you set your attentions to it, you're going to get it. And number three, you must take these steps, whether you're going to use the 3-3-3, the 5-5-5, the 7-7-7 technique, whether you're using the alchemy water technique. You have to reprogram your RNA, and you have to tell yourself, I will succeed, I will lose weight, I will be a better parent, and you imprint these ideas, you imprint these thoughts, and when you send that thought out into the universe and it comes back to you, then you'll know that I successfully applied this particular technique. But this is a fabulous show, the Amber Neal Show, and I was very, very excited to be here. But if you want to check me out, you can log on to YouTube. I'm Woke the Podcast. You can always catch me at www.jasonmetlock.com. And I want to tell you guys thank you, and I appreciate it.
Happy birthday, Jason. Happy birthday, happy birthday. So excited that you decided to share your birthday with Ryan and I. Today was an amazing, amazing show because I get so on fire when I see people or have people on the show with my co-host that were there. It is that frequency. We understand. We speak the same language, and that's the thing, guys. Whether you're trying to manifest your dreams, a spouse, no matter what it is, you will understand if you just slow down and listen to the words and that people choose to use. You will be able to tell if they are awake or they're asleep. You'll be able to tell if they're healed or if they're unhealed. But Jason has me really excited about this quantum entanglement, okay? Y'all know how I get because what's going on? Maybe I need to ask Jada. I don't know, but I need to learn about this quantum entanglement a little bit more. But that's the thing, guys. Don't think you're the smartest person in the room. Find people that have gone before you. Why go try to do it the hard way? There are people that have mastered what you're trying to learn. So put your ego out of the way. And as I always say, guys, the ego is the death of all relationships. But if you're the smartest person in the room, and you may very well be, then it's time to elevate to new friends. The one thing I choose to pick my friends based on, the number one thing, is if I can learn from them. Because I have a thirst for knowledge. And you know, I love the water technique that Jason was telling you about too, but honey, it don't cure your thirst, okay, when you're thirsty and desperate. So let's not get catfished in 2022. Let's go inside, let's do the work, let's heal ourselves from the inside out, because you got to understand the one thing about manifesting your soulmate, it's nothing external. It's not. You have to go inside, because like attracts like with the quantum entanglement, as he was saying. So for more information, y'all go check him out, Jason Medlock. Y'all check out Ryan, RyanYarbrough.com, and y'all check me out, AmberNeal.com, and we'll see you next time on The Amber Neal Show.
Maridate is for committed couples that are either engaged or married and would like to keep the dating in their marriage, fight for the family, and lower the divorce rate one couple at a time. We plan 30 to 50 events a month that include workshops, seminars, webinars, experts, and events all around town. This is for couples that want to develop friendships with other like-minded couples that take their marriage and vows seriously. We will also be offering premarital help so that you will not be a statistic. Would you and your partner like to take international vacations together with other couples and at group rates? When you are home, you will learn your city as you go to each new event. Your membership includes all of our locations. We take the guesswork out of creating, having, and keeping a strong marriage. Contact us today.